Hi, my name is Miss Ian, and I'm part of the Pregnancy, Postpartum, and Parenting Engagement Resource Center. I'm going to take us through our training, and I'm so happy to welcome you to Research for Community Boards, a training for board members. If you're going through this training independently, make sure to open up the training guide link for Module 1. In Module 1, we are going to share about the purpose of this training. This training was designed for pregnant, postpartum, and parenting people with substance use disorder who are participating in a community board. The goal is to help you have enough information about research to feel confident providing your valuable perspective and feedback. You are here because as a person with lived experience, you are the expert on what it's like to experience parenting with a substance use disorder. Your insights are valuable and can make research and services better aligned to what parents need and want. Before we get started today, we want to offer you an opportunity to reflect on what it means to be a part of a community board and to define some key terms. If you are following along independently, please make sure to write down your answers in the Module 1 training guide link to get credit for participating. If you are participating live, then you can share your responses in the chat. First, what does it mean to you to be part of a community board? Second, what comes to mind when you hear pregnancy, postpartum, and parenting? What does postpartum mean to you? Go ahead and pause the video until you are ready to move on. Thanks for taking the time to consider your ideas on community boards and parenting. Let's talk about community boards. You are part of a community board, which means that you are a voice for the community and local study participants. You provide your thoughts on the best ways to do research in a way that is meaningful and emotionally safe to participants. Your job is to help make sure that research respects the values and differences of participants. Let's talk about the terms pregnancy, postpartum, and parenting. Pregnancy can refer to someone who has just found out they are pregnant all the way through 40 weeks, though not all babies are born at 40 weeks. Some are born earlier and some are born later. Some pregnancies may also end in pregnancy loss. Postpartum is the time period after a person has given birth, regardless of whether they have a baby in their arms. Postpartum can mean up to 1 year after birth. Some people use the term postpartum to mean postpartum depression, but not all people who are postpartum have depression. Saying someone is postpartum is just like saying they are pregnant. It's just referencing a period of time in a person's life. Let's talk about parenting. When we say parenting, we don't always mean people who are caring for their biological child. We could also mean people who are parenting their grandchild or stepchild, or people who don't get to see their child anymore, but still carry their child in their heart. Parenting means a lot of different things, and we honor all of those different experiences when we use this term. This work was funded by a grant from the National Institute of Health to the National Institute on Drug Abuse to the University of Oregon. For this specific grant, the University of Oregon has developed the Pregnancy, Postpartum, and Parenting Engagement Resource Center, or PERC. PERC. The purpose of the PERC is to provide information on how to do community-informed research that can improve care for pregnant, postpartum, and parenting people with substance use disorders. Now, here's a little video about how the National Institute of Health works so that you can understand a little bit more about where that funding comes from.
From its humble beginnings in 1887 as a one-room laboratory, the National Institutes of Health has grown into a multi-billion-dollar federal agency with 27 institutes and centers, each with their own portfolio of research focused on particular diseases or body systems. All but 3 receive their funding directly from Congress and administer their own budgets.
NIH institutes and centers collaborate and work together on research initiatives because many health issues cut across multiple disease areas. roughly 82% of NIH's $45 billion budget is invested each year in biomedical research, conducted at academic and medical institutions across the country and around the world. NIH also conducts research as part of its intramural research program on the NIH campus and at satellite campuses across the nation, including the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences located in Durham, North Carolina.
NIH investment in research has been responsible for medical advancements that have saved countless lives. These advancements include contributing to a high cure rate for common childhood leukemia, making HIV/AIDS, once a fatal diagnosis, now a treatable disease, and developing vaccines to prevent diseases like hepatitis, human papillomavirus, COVID-19, and more.
We hope that after this brief introduction, you have an understanding of our funding and of the importance of community boards for contributing to research. The perspectives of people with lived experience are vital for conducting research that helps improve services in ways that feel most useful to other parents with substance use disorders. To wrap up our first module, we want to give you an overview of our training. Our remaining 4 modules will provide information on what research is and why it is useful, and the basic steps of research, how to protect people when doing research, how to design a research project so that you can be part of leading a research study, and how to guide researchers on best practices for studying and interacting with pregnant, postpartum, and parenting people with substance use disorders. If you are following along independently, make sure to complete the questions in the Module 1 training guide and let your coordinator know you are finished.